Hi Virgos, welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It's time for your weekly reading. I've shuffled these cards very well. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be the center card in the first part of the reading. So if you feel compelled, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, let's just get started. For Virgos, what do Virgos need to know? What's coming up in their lives? What's coming up in the Virgo's lives? They need to know. Any advice is always welcome, universe. Please. For our Virgos, what do they need to know? What do they need to know? For Virgo. Okay. Let's see what we have. For Virgos, in the order that they came out. Wow. Really up in your head about something, really on your mind. Some of these came out upside down. I have a couple cards left for the next part of the reading. So, Virgos, the Nine of Swords surround your entire reading. Is this how you're feeling? Swords of truth and clarity, thought coming through at any quiet moment. Kind of like torturous, like you might even be blaming yourself for something, or asking questions like, why didn't I see it? Or, it was all around me and I didn't even notice. Or, why couldn't I stop this from happening? Whatever it might be. These swords are swords of truth and clarity, and they just, quiet times, quiet moments, they really start to go through your brain. And kind of torturous, really. But that is the overall energy. We need to find out why. Up here in your highest energy is the Justice card. You're going to get balanced over this. No fear at all. This is temporary. You are becoming very well balanced after this. You're taking one of those swords, actually, and you're going to put it up, and you're going to be in self-defense. You're going to be balanced. You're going to take on yourself. Justice is what I call this card. This is the card for Libra. Libra could be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. So you're coming out okay. Coming out great. Actually, the Justice card is right next to the Queen of Swords. Another air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But the Queen of Swords, this is having your sword up. But it's not only staying balanced, it's balanced by seeking the truth and the clarity. This truth and clarity is really helping you heal. At the moment, it might just feel like torturous thoughts. But this truth and clarity, you seek it. And it looks like you also need to speak it. Either you're speaking it to yourself or you need to speak it to someone else. Let me just keep reading. But you are very well balanced and you're becoming very protective of yourself. And you're just going to stay that way. You're looking out for yourself, which you probably maybe weren't doing as like you should have been doing in the first place. But you're doing it now. And I have the Queen of Cups right next to the Queen of Swords. All very mature energies so far. Queen of Cups. This is the only card in the deck with a cup that has a lid on it. And inside that cup are answers to love questions. See, Queen's facing... This queen, they're all male or female, is facing the Queen of Cups. So it's all about love, and you're getting your answers. The Queen of Cups can be Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. That might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But there you are. Your mind is on, and you're asking questions about and speaking your truth about feelings. So I have the Hierophant here. Right under the Justice card, this is the card for Taurus. Taurus might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. The Hierophant is about traditional values, traditional morals. It's about stability, security, groundedness. It's a very spiritual card that can be about marriage. So I feel like you're just... I feel like you were in a committed relationship. And I feel like something went awry and you needed to rebalance from that. That, you were really like flipped over from thinking that you were heading towards probably a marriage or commitment of some kind, into maybe it fell apart, because I got the Five of Cups on the other side of the Nine of Swords and under the Queen of Cups. Yeah, you became very disappointed in love. Just very downtrodden about love. Spilled cups. Like somebody just walked along and kicked them over, you know? But you have two full cups behind you. That's why I call this the card of hope. There's still love out there for you. So, you know, have no fear. No matter what happens, you will find love. And it's under the Queen of Cups. There's still love out there for you. If that's one of your questions, yeah, there is. I have the World card under the Hierophant. Yeah, you're moving on. You're moving into a new place, a new life cycle, because all this happened. With the World card being here. Oh, and see, this was all spiritual lessons. I think it was so that you put your sword up and keep your scales balanced, so that you would look out for yourself and not just, you know, don't get in the fool's energy. Don't throw caution to the wind. Always think about what you want, and always pay attention on whether or not the person who is in front of you wants the same things that you want from life. And I think you learned your spiritual lesson. There's your guardian angels and spirit guides blowing the horn on you. And look, you're waking up. You're like, you get it. It's all this truth and clarity that came to you. You get it. You understand what happened. Yay. And so this is allowing you to move into this new life cycle. Now, I have the Nine of Cups right next to the Judgment card and under the Five of Cups. You have a lot of love to offer. 9 cups sitting on a shelf right behind you. But you're guarding it, and you know you have it. And you're guarding it, and you're just hoping for someone to come along that is the right person to share your cups of love with. Because this cup, this last probably even 2 cups, have failed. You have a lot of love left. You know, you got more than 2 cups. So this hope and love, it's still out there. And I'm hoping that we see who you can hand your cups out to. Wow. Okay. Let's take out the rest of these cards, please, for Virgos. Okay, I think this, if there's extras, I'll read them. There's 4 extras. I had a feeling there was a lot. I'm going to take out a universe card at the end. So, in the order they came out. Okay. Remember I said if you were in the full energy that you've learned your lesson, okay? You're going to be much more careful in moving forward. I have the Sun next to the Queen of Cups. This is my favorite card in the tarot deck. This is about fresh starts, new beginnings, with lots of love and lots of joy. This is what's coming into your life. You're going to be able to hand out those cups. This is something you've waited for a very long time. I mean, it's not only the fresh start, new beginning with lots of love and joy. You've waited for a committed relationship for a very, very long time to feel secure and grounded. But you know what? You feel secure and grounded just by being you, because see, you got yourself all balanced, and you got your sword up, and you trust yourself, and you're doing things for yourself to build your own security, your own stability. You're very self-assured now. But you have been waiting for someone to share your cups of love, 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, and your Pentacles with. And you're still waiting, but you are heading towards a fresh start and a new beginning with lots of love and joy. I have the Emperor under the Sun and next to the spilled cups. Well, the Emperor is the card for Aries. Aries might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But the energy is what's most important. Now, I think this is holding true to yourself. In this reading, I have different ways of reading the Emperor depending on the reading I'm doing. But I think in this one, you're just sitting on the granite throne. All cards are male or female. And you're not budging until the right person comes along. You learned your spiritual lesson. So you're just going to hold out for the right one to come along. See, the Emperor's on the back side of those cups of hope and love, and right under the Sun. And there you are. And you're like, I am not settling this time. I'm going to make sure that they are the right one for me so I don't have to go through all these spiritual lessons. And spiritual lessons are not fun. You are not even looking at the Fool card. This is why you keep waiting for a grounded relationship, because it looks like you've been jumping into relationships and just kind of throwing caution to the wind. It's fun, living in the moment, dancing along with your head in the clouds, and then boom, there's the edge of the cliff, and all of a sudden, it's usually you in the reading that ends up looking forward. Sometimes it's the other person towards commitment and security and stability, and the other person doesn't. And that's where it all falls apart. So, the Fool is fun for a while, okay? But it never lasts. And then I have the Chariot. Yes, you've moved forward from the Fool's energy. This is the card for Cancer, by the way. Cancer might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But yes, you have definitely moved forward into being you. You're independent. You are very well adjusted now, and you know exactly what you want. I have the Hangman under the Emperor and next to the Nine of Cups. Yeah, you're just going to hang out, man. You're just going to hang in there. This is a card of enlightenment because you've been enlightened by your guardian angels and spirit guides. So you're just going to hang out, take all this enlightenment. Came with that Nine of Swords. It kept, that wasn't fun while it was happening, but now you're past it, you're over it. And these readings I do don't go past 6 months. You could be, I don't know what part of this reading that you're in, but you could be in any part of it. And like I said, if it doesn't resonate with you, it's not your reading. Or you can take pieces of it, get a private reading, check your moon sign. There's all kinds of options for you on these general readings. So I have the King of Cups next to the Hangman and under the Fool. Yeah, you took all that love that you put on the shelf, and look how close you're holding it. This is a card for water, so this could be Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. So now we have the King and the Queen of Cups in this reading. I think that there is a soulmate coming in, because this Queen is right next to the Sun. This fresh starts, new beginnings. And I think this new relationship will be based on love, but you're holding out for it, and that's really good. And I also feel like when you move forward in life, which you are doing, and you're not going backwards, you're not going back into the Fool's energy. I have the Eight of Pentacles. So you have been focusing on your pentacles. You've been putting your nose to the grindstone, doing what you have to do for you. And in the meantime, you might even know this or meet this person that has some connection with where you work or doing your work. Because it's right next to the King of Cups. But this King of Cups will also want to build and work on a future with you. Okay, this is what you've been doing, and they want to get in on it, and they want to be a part of it. Now, they're a soulmate. You have a soulmate that's coming in, and you're going to move forward with them. I have the Moon and the Knight of Pentacles that came out as extra cards. So the Moon is a card for Pisces. Pisces might be strong in your chart, their chart, or around this reading. But this is about hidden things to be revealed, secrets to be revealed, night turning to day. So I feel like this is kind of a surprise when this person comes in and wants to actually share they want to build pentacles with you, because this is the Knight of Pentacles. I think this is what you've been waiting for, and I think this is the surprise, is you don't expect it. So that King of Cups, whether they don't have to be a water sign, but they do have a big cup of love. They could share it anytime they want to share it, okay? But they don't spread it all over. They don't live in the Fool's energy. The Knight of Pentacles, they also have a pentacle. And you've waited a long time for the right person to come along, and I feel like they are getting very, very close. I also had the Six of Wands come out and the Page of Pentacles. So the Six of Wands is about success and love. And that's under that Moon card, and that's going to be a surprise. You're going to be seen as a couple, and this is going to be a very successful relationship. See the Page of Pentacles? Looking at that pentacle as if it's a crystal ball, trying to foresee the future, you're both going to be in that energy. Someone perfect for you is coming in. And you know what? When you learn spiritual lessons, you're usually rewarded by the universe. And I feel like this is a reward. Like now it's time. Now it's time to bring in this soulmate that you've longed for, that you've for a very long time. So the hope and love is there. I'm pulling out a card from the universe, law of attraction card for advice or whatever they want to say. Might be helpful for you in moving forward. Maybe if you're in the Nine of Swords still, it might help you to get out of the Nine of Swords energy and become balanced. Okay. Nice and smooth. Okay. So Virgos. Also, I wanted to point out this can be Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. God, Capricorn, the other Earth sign. It can be just an Earth sign right there. Okay, let's pull out a card for Virgos. It's card number 6. If that means anything to you, I just like to tell people what number it is. It says, I cannot create in the experience of another. Now that was probably part of your spiritual lesson. That's probably why that you were creating and becoming yourself and building your own pentacles. And then on the back it says what they have to say. You can pause and read this if you can see it anytime you want. I'm going to read it to you though. You cannot create in the experience of another because you cannot think their thoughts. What you can do for them is set the example of joy. Becoming a being who thinks only of that which you are wanting, who speaks only of that which you are wanting, and who does only that which you are wanting, and therefore brings forth only joyful emotions. I think that the two of you are manifesting each other. I think they're coming in. And, you know, like I said, readings don't go past 6 months. I don't know what part of this reading you might be in if this is your reading. But I do see someone very special coming in. They might be related to your work somehow. So Virgos, this is your reading. Thank you for watching. Universal Guidance, Tarot.